What happens when the leader of the free world takes a stand on one of the most contentious international issues? Picture this: a growing clamor, both domestically and internationally, urging a shift in U.S. foreign policy. In recent months, President Joe Biden found himself at the center of a heated debate concerning the U.S.'s role in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Activists, led by groups like Listen to Michigan, have been vocal in their demands for a change, particularly criticizing the administration's stance on Gaza. Their voices grew louder, echoing through the corridors of power, driven by a campaign that even saw local officials and influential communities pushing for a pivot. Flashback to 2 years ago, an Israeli airstrike targeted a clinic in Gaza, igniting fierce discussions about war crimes and the sanctity of medical facilities in conflict zones. Fast forward to April 2024, and the release of National Security Memorandum-20 brought the U.S.'s military aid to Israel under sharper scrutiny. Critics argued that the continued support, amidst allegations of human rights abuses, contradicted U.S. laws themselves. Then came the bombshell. In a recent interview, President Biden made a statement that could potentially redraw the lines of U.S.-Israel relations. He declared that the U.S. would cease the supply of bombs and artillery shells to Israel if it launched a major invasion of Rafah, a significant escalation in the ongoing conflict. This condition marks a pivotal shift, suggesting a more conditional approach to military aid, one that hinges on the actions of its recipient. So what does this mean going forward? Biden's decision introduces a new layer of accountability, aligning U.S. military support with adherence to certain standards of conduct in warfare. It signals to the international community that the U.S. is willing to adjust its policies in response to changing dynamics and ethical considerations. Moreover, for the domestic audience, particularly groups like Listen to Michigan, this could be seen as a direct response to their advocacy, an acknowledgement that their voices matter. To recap, mounting pressure from activists and critical policy reviews have nudged the Biden administration towards a conditional stance on military aid to Israel. This move could potentially usher in a new era of U.S. foreign policy, where strategic interests are balanced with ethical imperatives. As the sands shift in the landscape of international diplomacy, the world watches and waits. How will this decision shape the future of the Middle East? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: the implications of this shift will resonate far beyond the borders of the U.S. and Israel.